Hey guys, it's Rachel Youngson here from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. We are here with our PLR Power Hour. This is a weekly Power Hour where we get together, talk about what's going on with PLR, what we're doing in our businesses, ask any questions about using PLR that we have, and we're also going to do a little bit of talking today about our upcoming Use PLR bundle. So, we got a lot of fun stuff happening. Hey Carol, good to see you, sweetie. So let's get started. Before we get too far in, I wanted to let you guys know we did have a quick change to the bundle because, you know, I have these brilliant ideas, but I also have a coach that I go to, and she has much more experience than me. So sometimes, you know, she has different ideas than I do. But anyway, we were talking and we decided that if you are a service provider, then it would be the most beneficial thing to do would be for you to provide some type of a training or a report or something regarding your service. Of course, you do have to make sure it's something that you price at $27 or more to be part of the bundle. But the reason for that is if you're a service provider and you're giving away, let's say you're giving one free article per person, you're a writer, and we have 75 or 100 bundle sales, because remember, anybody can promote, and anyone can be an affiliate, and we have much broader range of people when we get into other PLR sellers who may not be in our group for whatever reason and things like that. That's 100 articles. If it takes you a half hour to do each article, that's 50 hours on top of your regular work, and we really need to be sure that the customer service is top notch. So we don't want anybody to kind of get washed away, or anybody to order the bundle and then not get their product for 6 weeks or so. So a better alternative, I think, is have a training that you would value at $27 on how you provide your service, so that way they can feel like they're going to do it themselves. Then make a follow-up email offering to do it for them, or offering to do it at a discount. So, you know, you can still hopefully spark those conversations that will lead to new client onboarding and that kind of stuff. Okay, that is the only thing that's changed. That I can remember, we are accepting submissions, and that's all there is for that. We have a couple of new releases at Use PLR coming up that I wanted you guys to know about. The first is going to be Use PLR to Rock Your 2020. This is going to be a planner, a spreadsheet so you can keep track of your PLR, and something else that I never remember. So, but it's going to be in there too. And that should be out in the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to move over at Whole Food PLR. We're going to be doing an updated Paleo Valentine bundle. So we have a Paleo Valentine pack, but we are going to pretty it up and re-release it for a discount. And then we're going to be going into Use PLR for passive income, and then we're going to be going into Paleo Pregnancy. So that's kind of how we're going to be doing it. We're going to kind of go one and then the other for the time being, so that we can kind of keep releases going on both fronts, the PLR and the Using PLR. Hey, Miss Diane, it's good to see you, my friend. So that's what's working right now. Okay, how was everybody's holiday? I want to hear about it. Throw something in the chat box at me. Okay, Charlene, that's really smart. I love talking to Charlene. She's a smarty pants. So Charlene says she has an idea for the bundle. We can give them a template for 5 emails that they can create for their autoresponder. Her follow-up email to the buyer is to tell them that she has a 15 email series that she can write for them. I think that's great. That's really smart. And so if you take Charlene's cue for that, that's perfect. Just make sure that it's something that is valued at $27 or greater, so that we can be sure that it gets in that front end. But yeah, that's good job, Charlene. That's really smart. I like that. Does anybody have any questions, or do you guys have any launches that you have coming up? Do you have anything that you're you're seeing happening in the PLR world that you want to chat about. You have anything with your business that you want to talk about? Let's get chatty. Anybody can let me know if you want to talk in the chat box, and I will be more than happy to call on you because I know that's really fun. So we can have a conversation. If you want to lurk today, that's totally okay. We do get some folks in here who just like to use this time, carve out this time to work on their PLR, which I think is perfect as well. Sure, Miss Carol, I'm going to unmute you. Is that okay? All right. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How was your holiday?
It was quiet. It was quiet, but that was good.
Good. Did you get a chance to relax a little bit and have some downtime?
Yes, too much probably. It's hard to get in the grind.
It is really, yeah, you're not kidding. I was like, my husband stayed home a little, he took like a staycation for a few days. And so I was like, oh, I could be in the office, but everybody's off and everybody's here. Yeah, it's bad. It's hard getting
Take
back.
advantage of those things.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your question, my friend?
Okay, so I am in the process of finishing a book that is not PLR, but I'm thinking about or would like to add a couple of appendixes that draw heavily on PLR that were kind of additional resources. Do we know if this is going to be a print book on Amazon? How I get nervous about that. How much do I have to adapt the PLR for it not to get tagged or whatever they do?
Well, I don't work with Amazon, so I want to put that out first. Charles Harper, who runs the PLR show group on Facebook, he does a little bit more with Amazon, so he would be a great resource for us to touch base with. So I'm going to give you my thoughts, but I really encourage you to also reach out to Charles just to be sure, because Amazon is very strict when they have a sense that something is PLR, so you want to be really careful with that.
Right.
And that's Charles Terrence Harper.
Okay.
And his Facebook group is called the PLR Show, and he's also a member in our group as well. So you can tag him in our group, but he tends to let people in his group pretty freely, especially if he knows that you're part of this group. So I would advise going over there and then making a public post over there, just to kind of get his attention, because I know he's got some stuff working right now, so it might get lost in the shuffle if we do it over in our group. But my thoughts are, I agree with you that I would be very weary and leery of using the appendix or using PLR in any portion of the book. I would be, because it's a print book, I would wonder if the situation is a little bit different, maybe a little bit harder to catch if it's a print book and not as opposed to like a KDP or a Kindle book. Right. Kim says she doesn't think you're allowed to use PLR on Amazon, and that is correct, Kim. That is, like any digital products, Amazon does not like to see PLR. You know, they like the quality. Now, the thing that I would try to do is make sure it's as rewritten as possible. Use a tool like Copyscape to put the original and your rewrite side by side. And that will tell you like a percentage of how much it's been rewritten. I don't know exactly what percentage I would feel comfortable with, but I would think anything over 60%. If anybody else, especially you, Charlene, because I know you've worked. If anybody else has any ideas, please feel free to throw them in the chat box for Carol as well. But for me, I would do Copyscape. I would try to keep it above 60% rewriting. And since this is a print book, I would not do it on Kindle. That's just me. And I would definitely reach out to Charles, because I know that he's done work in this kind of field before, and see what he has to say about it as well. Audrey, I'm sorry.
One thought I had based on what you've been saying is perhaps I should just have those on my resource page that people can access separately, which would be from my website, and then it wouldn't be in the printed book.
That would be that. I think that would definitely leave you with a lot more options, because like I have a Kindle. I don't really do paper. It's easier for me to do Kindle, so that would definitely leave you that whole Kindle marketplace to not have to worry about that PLR being in there. I would definitely do it that way. I think that's really smart. I think that's a good way to do it. If anyone else has any thoughts, please feel free to let us know. Looks like Diane said she's multitasking. She's had quiet holidays, a family situation today. Oh, I'm so sorry, Diane. And waiting for a plumber. That's fun stuff, right? Oh, waiting for people is the best. Audrey says you can use PLR, but you have to pretty much rewrite it completely. Use it more as an outline. And she also agrees that your idea with the resource page is a great idea. Charlene says she also agrees that the resource page is great because then you can go along and change it as you need to, which is a good point. I didn't even think about that. It's much easier to do that. So, and keep that updated. But I would love to know when the print book comes out. So please let us know, because I think that would be a really cool shout out for us to give you. That's pretty cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm excited for you. This isn't the first though, right? Haven't you done, I know you've done digital products, but have you done print books before?
I've done print planners, journals, or mostly journals actually, and a quote book.
So this is the first fully, this is a written book though, right? Yeah. Oh, exciting. I can't wait. All right.
A challenge this week to really crunch a bunch of stuff to get closer to publication. So wish me luck.
Crossing my fingers for you, because that's hard. That crunching, and yeah, that's hard. But I think you'll rock it. I think you'll get it done.
It's time.
Do you want to chat about anything else?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay, sweetie. All right, I'll go ahead and mute you. And again, please let us know, because I'd love to. That's a really cool accomplishment. So, okay. Does anybody else have any questions for me today? Anything at all. It can be bundle, it can be holiday, it can be, gosh, Rachel, this is our first time getting back. Why are you expecting so much from us? I'm so tired. I don't want to do this today. I would rather just, let's end early because I don't want to say anything. Tell me anything. It's okay. We are kind of, this time when you're kind of getting back into the swing is definitely a difficult time. It's so funny though, because in some senses it's a good time, because you're like, it's in the year, Q1, everything from last year you've got as a foundation, you can build on it. As far as financials, you're, if you feel like you've made flubs, you've got a brand new year, right? But another way, it's the beginning of the year, maybe you had too many white Russians, aka me, you've just gotta I think Carol's saying you can never have too many white Russians, which I kind of agree with. Okay, my friends, so as you know, we are doing the bundle. I do want to get back into doing challenges over on UsePLR, but right now we are really working with just trying to make sure we're getting these products out, and as I kind of get that into more of a process and more of a it kind of flows a little bit easier through the chain from start to finish, then I'll be looking more at getting back into our UsePLR challenges, because I think they're really great. It's a quick and easy way to make sure that you're doing things that need to be done for you to maximize your PLR. It's a way for us to connect as a group. It gives a lot of gives us a lot of fun things in that aspect. So I do want to get back to those. I'm thinking it's probably not going to be until, I would think, March timeframe, because it is going to that will give us like 4 more products to release or so. So we should have a pretty good groove down after that, I would think. I have really nothing else to talk about, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. So originally I wanted to have this this power hour be about using PLR to monetize your blog. And I had some notes on it, but I never finished it because we were squeezed into an appointment today, which was great, by the way. Really needed to be squeezed in, but it did kind of like throw off the planning process because it was an appointment for the person I take care of. So I had to like get medical stuff together and all that fun stuff and chat back and forth with people. But next week, though, I'm thinking use PLR to monetize your blog would be a fun topic. What does everybody think? You like that, Carol? Cool, good, because I like it too. I think it's I think going into this year, I really want to focus on easy ways for us to put our PLR into place where we can make money quickly. And that's where a lot of these journals, you're going to see a lot of journals from us this year so that you can keep track of your own stuff. You're going to see, I don't know how many, but you're going to see some Excel files from us this year so that you can digitally mark things off and move things around. But yeah, that's the goal though, is to kind of try to keep everything, we're going to do passive income. We're going to do using PLR for your blog, that kind of thing. So as we get our hands around it, it should be all a little bit more smooth. Again, though, I would give us a couple of months because we're, it's great because I have a bigger machine now, so to speak, because I want to spend so much time in the group, and that's where I want my focus to be. And I needed that help so that I can put my focus into being in the group. And helping, like doing the one-on-one help and the coaching, the things that mean a lot to me. But having a bigger machine is great, but we also have to like figure out how everything is going to like slide through and work and all that stuff. So, Charlene, you have a comment. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, my friend. Hey there, Charlene.
Thank you. Hello,
how are you?
I am well. So good to see you again. We've missed you. I think everybody in the room will agree with me. We've missed you, right?
Thank you, Charlene. Hey, you guys, Charlene was actually going to be my backup today if I got held up at the doctor. So I sent her an email this morning. I was like, thank you for saving me. Thank you for being my backup if I needed it. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
You're quite welcome. So my comment was with regard to using PLR to monetize your blog. But in actuality, it really is about just using PLR in general. What I'm seeing and have for the past really pushing hard the past 4 to 6 months, where the last half last year, from large blogging groups, not only on Facebook, but private forums and what have you, is this this idea that you don't want to use PLR at all, because that means it's a misunderstanding of what PLR is.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's going to be like everybody else's. And even though I and just a handful of other people come in and say, no, this is what it's for, right? This is how you use it. I just want to put out there now, this is the whole purpose of Rachel's group, is how to use PLR effectively so that it benefits you, whether it's to monetize your blog or your website, or it's just to help you to express yourself better. Maybe here's something some people don't understand. I do, because I write for other people so often, is that people have difficulty expressing themselves either verbally in video or textually by simply writing. Even when they read it back to themselves, they realize I am a lousy writer and I'm not getting the idea across. I'm not explaining this as succinctly as I'd like, or it's not as clear as I want it to be, and I don't know how to do it. Well, that's what PLR does for you, is that it is the base from which you begin to express yourself better. And it doesn't take away from creativity. It doesn't take away from who you are. It doesn't take away anything about the specialness and uniqueness of you and your ideas and how you do things. What it does is everything's done for you right in front of you, and you're able to read it and say, I can take this section of this paragraph, 2 sentences, and replace it with my sentences that better explain the tools that I use or how I use them or why I like this in particular. And you'll see that it doesn't take long when you have that as your foundation or base, that you are expressing yourself just as creatively as you have before. You just now feel confident that what you have out there in front of other people actually makes sense. So that's
Amen. Yeah. You know, and I feel like people who don't know what PLR is or people who maybe only publish on Amazon or things like that are the ones who kind of have a bad taste for it. But just like you said.
Well, now wait a second. Now with the bad taste comes from people who have heard from people who have heard from people who have heard from people, 3 levels down, that PLR is scraped content and sold cheap on Fiverr.
That's really, that's you.
That 3 levels down, because I've talked with people who have asked them, why do you think PLR is a bad idea? Well, because it's scraped content that's sold cheap, on Fiverr. I said, why do you think that? Why, I love the 7 whys, which is asking why 7 times until finally you get the real answer, right? And why would you think people would do that? Why do you think that everybody does that, right? And so conversations I've had since coming out as a PLR writer, last year, that I've had with people is that the impression, and that's all it is the impression is that it's cheap, it's written badly, it's rewritten content from a computer. The ridiculousness of it, it just blows me away. Because what they're basing their opinions on is, again, 2 to 3 levels down, which is so-and-so said, so-and-so said, so-and-so said. Article rewriting programs really aren't used anymore. This was back in the day when article marketing was the thing. That was back in the day. We're talking 10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
More than 10 years ago. Okay. Those who say they use that really don't, because they're trying to sell you the article rewriting program, just so you know. The information they're going off of is from 10 or more years ago. So again, I just wanted to get that.
Wow. Maybe it's because I spend so much time with real PLR sellers but I've just kind of thought that kind of shadiness to PLR has been like debunked, I guess. But apparently
it has. The problem is that the impression is still out there. It's very much, from what I'm seeing, it's very much in the same vein as SEO, and having somebody do your SEO is a waste of money. That came about because of the spam emails. For $97, I can get you first on Google because it's SEO. That's all. It's not that people actually put it to use, it's the impression. So I just wanted to put it out there that the impression is there for some, and we can participate in educating and debunking that impression. So okay.
I love the way that you say that's the impression, because that puts it in a different light than that theory is still out there. Like, I love that.
Yeah, it's not factual. If it were factual, I'd be in there arguing even, I'd be using different verbiage. I would be saying, well, how about you use a ghostwriter instead? Oh, I'll use a ghostwriter.
But they're expensive.
Oh yeah, if you were to, I'll be happy to go straight for you. Let's add 2 zeros to the price and let's
Right.
go. That, you know, and I have actually done that over the years. It's just not something I talk about. So again, just so we know that it's out there. Oh, the only other thing I do need to comment is that my studies, research, and actual participation over the past 5 or 6 years in artificial intelligence, that's an upcoming industry disruptor. You are going to see from 2020 forward, at least for the next year, you're going to start seeing more and more commenting about AI created content. And I'm guessing, my prediction is that about 2022, in 2 more years, it's going to be the replacement from the article spinner programs, because it's going to be touted as able to write as well as what you are able to write. It's along the same lines, if you think about this, it's along the same lines as bots that are used for customer service. It's along the same lines as auto-generated, computer-generated voices that sound very similar to the human voice. So much so, many people can't tell the difference. And they're already in place now, answering the basic questions. You know, it's not intense conversations, but that's something that's coming that I think we can be aware of. And quite simply, if it's not written by somebody, a real person who understands your industry. So
I thank you for telling us that. Guys, if you want to learn more from Cheryl, who is just Charlene, why I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry, Charlene, I do that all the time. Go over to searchbyburke.com. She's so smart. I love talking to her.
well, thank you. All right,
I
that's all.
appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm actually going to put that AI in our resource notes too, because I think that's kind of neat. That's a neat piece of information that I don't think we haven't really thought about. And I think you've done the research, you know you're right, but it makes sense. So thank you very much, Charlene. I appreciate it. Search by Burke and grow your PLR. Or is it grow PLR? Grow PLR. GrowPLR.com and searchbyburke.com to learn more about Charlene, see if she has any services that you would like her to help you with, because it is such an important part of your business to pass services off if you need to, so that you can grow your business as a whole, instead of just working on little parts of your business. Also, I just want to reiterate, Charlene and I, we're saying the same thing, but she is so right that if you're part of this group, I say it a lot, but PLR is your foundation, really. And that's what it's meant to be. It's not meant to be just thrown out as is. It's meant to give you like a starting off point. It's meant to give you a place where you can maybe learn some little tricks and tips that you didn't know yourself. Throw in your own personal success stories, comments from your audience, images, things like that, graphs, put your own flavor into it. And the biggest part of PLR, which I think that a lot of people miss, is how easy it is to reformat that PLR into something totally new. So for instance, when we're talking about using PLR to monetize your blog, it's super simple to take a PLR article, twist it around to suit you and your story and your journey, what's going on in your business. And then you can actually take like a snippet of that and turn that into an image for social media. So now you've got a social media image and a blog, both based on the same piece of PLR, and it hasn't taken you like a ton of time to do it, and you can do that multiple times for each blog post. So it's really, reformatting is really the key here to, it's a no hassle way to make your PLR unique, in my opinion. Also, if you are listening to our replay and you're one of our newer subscribers, we do have our PLR profit report over at useplr.com. That's a free guide, and that will go into this rebranding and repurposing a little bit more in depth for you if you need that. So thank you, Miss Charlene. I appreciate you so much. Let's see. Carol says, so good, Charlene. I sometimes think of it as having a ghostwriter in the background helping me. How many books are published that are actually written by ghostwriters that we never know about? Doesn't seem that different to me. And you're right. You're absolutely right, Carol. Yeah. And and I say this jokingly, but in all honesty, think about people like Dr. Phil, who does the same thing every day of his career. And yet he's like a multimillionaire because he just puts a different spin on it every day. I mean, really, it's all family drama. That's what it all comes down to, is family drama. I mean, it's always the same thing. I'll get you more resources, but it works. It's a formula that works. Audrey says, quality PLR creators make all the difference, and educating the customers goes a long way to changing that perception. My first PLR purchase was not great, 95% rewrite. Oh, and burned me on it for years. Gosh, Audrey, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm really glad that you're here because, I'm so glad that we have a place where we can try to erase that and scrub that. And I know there are, like Charlene said, there are people who have this impression that all PLR is just out there on Fiverr and put together, by maybe even an article spinner and thrown out there. And I'm really proud that in our group, we only have people who have proven themselves. We don't just say, okay, you're a PLR seller. Let's advertise you in our group. You really have to prove yourself for our group members. And, so I'm really sorry you had that experience, and golly gracious. Okay, does anybody have anything else they want to chat about today? I can tell you that I am on a cracker diet because my husband there's a stomach bug. I don't know why he did that to me. My poor husband. I mean, he didn't do it to me. The poor guy was sick himself, but here I am. I don't know why he did it to me because I'm such a good wife. But either way, so I'm a soda cracker diet today. What's everybody else got going on? What else is going on? You know what's happening with me. You know what's happening with my releases and what's going on in on both of the sites. You know what we're planning for in the groups. Do you have anything that you're doing that you want to chat about? Any releases you have coming up? Any specials? Any questions you have on our upcoming bundle? Anything at all? Just let me know. Because if we don't have anything, then we can also wrap early, which I'm okay with. Because these hours are mainly my chance to interact with you guys, and that's why I really think they're valuable. But as Carol and I were talking about, it is like our first week back, and it is us all trying to kind of find our footing again in the new year and kind of regroup and get back to that routine, that daily routine. So Charlene is going to give us a hint of something that's coming up, which I really want to hear. All right, my friend, I'm unmuting you. Maybe you'll unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself? Because it's not working for me.
Okay, there I am. I had this pop-up coming up on Zoom I'd not seen before. It's like, what? And then again and again. All right, fine, I'll just wait. Okay, whatever bug it is, get it on. Oh, goodness. All right, so this week I'm finishing up actually, it's one product I'm going to be releasing is it's a beginner's guide to affiliate marketing. And yes, it covers the basics, but as always, I go a little deeper. And I've decided I'm going to offer the PLR rights to it. So, you can purchase it, or you can say no because I already know about, affiliate marketing, but I'll purchase the PLR rights. And it's not going to be cheap, but it's, definitely going to be worth it. I've already had people look at it and say, yes, this is really good stuff. It is for a beginner. It is And I'll tell you who it's for. It's not just the beginner affiliate marketer. It's the beginner who wants to monetize their blog by being an affiliate without being an affiliate marketer. How's that?
I like that.
You know, because for me, one of the light bulbs that went off in my head many years ago was, I really want to recommend this book from Amazon. Oh, look, I can get a link that I might make a few bucks if somebody buys it. Guess what? That's an affiliate. That's an affiliate link. So that's the context of what this guide is written under, is that it's not to walk you through. It covers a little bit about, if you want to go deeper, you can, but really it's for the person who says, hey, you know, I'd love to make a few bucks online. How do I do that? This is what you can do. All right, so that's coming up. That should be out this week as soon as the sales page is done, and then of course Warrior Plus has to approve the product and everything else. I did release okay, let's put it this way. I started a Get It Done group, and I can give you more information about that later if you like, but it's a month to month. It's a month to month, and it gives you, we meet weekly, so you get a taste of what it's like to actually be a part of a mastermind group without paying the hefty fee, you know, but it's a good taster. So it's a month to month. We'll see how it goes. I'll be there at least a year. So come in, try it for 2 weeks. Don't like it, leave. You do like it, pay and stay with us. And then another one that I'm working on is, this is the hint, is it's a done for you. I'm working with somebody else on this, so I have to be careful. It's a done for you that is a monthly membership that is big. I mean, it's big. It took me, I hid away for 2 weeks just to create the content for 1 month.
Wow.
It is, that's all I can say. It's huge. Meaning that I did that just the 1 month. I said, I'm not doing any more until we get people signed up, because it's gonna, I will have to, I will, and I did. I set aside literally 2 weeks. That's all I worked on, because it's more, the blog posts are different than the ebook lead generator, the lead magnet. That's different than the videos. That's different than the images for all 4 major social media platforms. That's different than, it's
all unique, huh? Wow.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Not quite sure when that will be released, but I'll be happy to, as always, I'll message you first, Rachel, to ask the group to know about it and who it's for and all that. But that's something I'm working on, which is pretty good.
Do you have a link for your Get It Done group?
I do. It is, it's a weird link because I put it on Mighty Networks. So I'll be happy to, let me put it in.
What I'd love to do is put it in the resources for this Power Hour as well, if that works for you.
That should take you there. If I go to it now to test it, it shows me as logged in, so I don't know. It should take you to the landing page.
Okay.
Yeah. But I call it's the real accountable Get It Done group. It's the no BS zone. You're there to get things done, and you're there to use other people just as they're going to use you, to bounce ideas off of, and to make sure you're staying on track. And if you're not staying on track and none of the members get on your butt, I will. You know, you're wasting your money, you're wasting our time. You're here. The sole purpose of being a part of this group is that you know somebody is going to be there when you show up to give your update. You're having a challenge. It's okay to have challenges. It happens to all of us. That's not the problem. The problem is that you never talk about your challenges, and when you're given a solution, you never ask deeper questions about how to put that solution to use. Well, that's what this group is about. You want to put it to use? Somebody who offered the solution is going to tell you what else you need to do in order to put it to use, because you're going to finish it. You're going to reach the goals that you wanted to reach. Stop trying to do it by yourself.
True enough. And like I was coaching with Connie Reagan Green about
Mm.
5 years ago. I love Connie to pieces. She's the best. But
Can't wait to get to know her better.
she's really sweet. She's a sweetheart. But like one of the things that she told me when I first started coaching with her is that she actually doesn't, like, she'll turn down coaching clients. She doesn't take all of everybody who wants to coach with her. You have to, be somebody that she feels like she can work with, be somebody that she feels is going to take action, and
Yeah.
be somebody that she feels like she can personally connect with. Because if these things aren't in place, and it doesn't really make a rewarding experience for her, but also it kind of wastes your money and her time. And she just, she feels like she's just got so many people who want her coaching, which she does, that it's, she can afford to be selective. And so Charlene's the same way. So just so you know, she'll nail you if you don't do what you're supposed to do. She
Yeah,
will. It's
I
in a
will.
good way, though, in a good way. And, and you, especially if your aspiration is to, you know, work with different coaches as you're moving through your journey, that's the way it's going to be. If I go to Kelly, like, and I keep saying I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, at some point she's going to get mad, and at some point she's going to,
Well, you know what happens? We run out of cheese to go with the wine. We really do. It comes to a point where I'm out. I have no more to enjoy while you're sitting down, you're whining. You know, it's we who are a part of things like this tease and say amongst each other that uh, actually, all right, so I'm going to be honest. I have what's called the Red Ring Club. And yeah, it comes from many, many years, 30 plus, almost 40 years of working with people privately. People have been sent to me privately, one-to-one, face-to-face at my kitchen table, who want to change their lives, literally change their lives. They know they need to personally change in order for them to have the marriage they want, to have the kids back, because they lost their kids from their bad behavior, to get their finances in order, to finish college, to whatever they know that it has to be personal, and it has to be deep, and it has to be real. And there comes a moment that many of them over the years come to where I just look at them and I say, you can sit on your pity pot as long as you want. Here's the red ring, because that's what your butt looks like. When you are ready to get rid of the red ring, stand up, get off the pity pot, and let's go. But until then, I've got 5 minutes. That's all you got. Now that's after 3, 4, 5 times of the same. But it's effective. They just, especially when I hand them the red ring. Just think about that. You can't see your butt, but we all can. That's what you look like. Welcome to the Red Ring Club. So
you're hysterical. I like that.
yeah.
It's so true, though. It's so true. And I mean, we have to, like, if you're not taking advantage of this stuff doesn't come easily, and Charlene can vouch for that. Like, anytime you sit down in front of a group, or anytime you run a group or things like that, you're behind the scenes doing everything that you can to figure out ways to make it the most successful, the most interactive, the most safe space. It's there's a lot that goes into it. Just like, these power hours. I mean, I sit down and I think, like, what do people need to know? How am I going to, do I know this effectively enough to feel like I can teach it, and that kind of stuff. And so we really have to be able to say, look, you're wasting my time. I really, don't have the time or energy for this, because if I put all this energy into meeting with you and you do nothing, and that's like the chronic thing, then I'm not getting any enjoyment out of it. And whatever you're paying me is just not doing me any favors, because that's not really worth what I prepare in advance before I even talk to you. It just isn't. So yeah, I'm with you, Charlene. kick them to the curb if it doesn't work for you. That's that's the way it's got to be. So yeah, I would love to. You can feel free if you wanted to, Charlene, to drop that accountability link in the discussion with the group too. You don't have to. I'll be putting in the resources as well, but feel free to do that if you want to. Of course, just put, post it with Rachel's okay, or else everybody will post their links for just for just kicks and giggles. And so, but all right. Okay, everyone. So do great things. Have a great week. Next week, we're going to be looking at monetizing your blog with PLR, and I will definitely be taking any suggestions, anything that you want to know. Let me know, and we'll get on that for you. All right. Let me know in the group if you have any other questions. Always feel free to reach out to me at rachel@useplr.com. Tag me in a group on a post on Facebook, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you, everybody, for your input. Bye, Charlene. Bye, everybody.